Of the seafood Americans consume comes from the waters of Alaska. Among the most popular and threatened species, the snow crab.
In some parts of the Alaskan wilderness, the seafood is so abundant, you can grab it with your claws.
Clear! Arguments, you have prayers.
Those prayers are for a rebound of Alaska's snow crab population.
Out here in the Alaskan seas, one storm can snap steel like it's wire. So why does each crab pot cost up to $10,000, and how do they survive conditions meant to sink ships? These cages aren't just tools, they're fortresses, built to trap hundreds of crabs while standing against freezing waves and crushing currents. Stick around, because in this video we'll travel from the deck to the ocean floor, uncovering how each design, from parlor pots to king crab giants, solves a life or death problem on the water.
Pause on the snow crab season. 10 billion snow crabs, 90% of the species, had mysteriously vanished.
It's been extremely difficult. There's not a lot you can do. These boats are specifically designed to go out and catch crab. So
biologists blame the rapid decline of snow crab on a 2018 climate-fueled heat wave.
This is actually kind of a small one.
Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. Picture lowering a steel cage that weighs as much as a small cow into freezing seas. The wind is sharp enough to sting your face, the deck is rolling, and every swell pounds against your hull.
And a fishing game is developing tracking devices to monitor snow crab and identify healthy populations for sustainable harvesting.
Continue to warm?
The warming event during 2018 and 2019 was kind of thought of as a lightning strike, and
including Pacific cod, king salmon, and pollock. According to NOAA, between 2022 and 2023,
that cage isn't cheap. It represents thousands of dollars of gear and the chance for thousands more in catch. Yet once it slips beneath the surface, the sea takes full control. So, what keeps a crab pot from being flattened or swept away in a place that has broken ships in half? The first challenge is the water itself. You're looking at conditions that can change without warning, currents that rip along the seafloor, ice that shifts and scrapes like sandpaper, and storms that kick up wall after wall of water. Unlike nets or smaller traps, these heavy pots can't bend or fold to absorb punishment. They have to take the full hit. Each one has to stand against not only the push of the tide but also the crushing weight of its own load once crabs start to pile inside.
Seafood industry suffered a nearly $2 billion loss. That industry extends to fish markets and dinner tables.
Is definitely lower than it once was, and that is affecting availability, obviously, and that affecting sales.
Penny Bella. Prices of Alaskan seafood in some places have shot up nearly 60% in just a few years.
For the crew, the gear either holds or it fails, and failure means money lost before a single crab makes it on deck. The sea isn't gentle on steel either. Saltwater eats metal, ropes fray, knots slip under strain. Ice forms on deck and drags extra weight on every line. If one rope snaps or a weld rusts through, thousands in gear and catch vanish instantly to the bottom. Few fishing tools are asked to risk so much value in such unforgiving conditions, and that's why crab pots are built more like fortresses than baskets. The design looks simple from the outside, but every joint and frame matters. A crab pot relies on a skeleton of thick steel rods welded into a box shape. Over that skeleton, heavy mesh spreads like armor. That mesh doesn't just keep crabs inside, it spreads out the pressure of waves and weight, so no single bar has to take the full force. It's the same reason you see buildings braced with cross beams, the load gets shared. Without that balance, a flooded wave or shifting mass of crabs could cave in the whole frame.
Alaska's world-famous snow crab season has been canceled. Billions of snow crabs have disappeared since 2018.
Archipelago is known for its catch of the day. While Gabriel Prout is grateful for his modest haul of king crab fusion.
Where have the snow crab gone?
Now, a sense of panic in the state's fisheries, which produce 60% of the nation's seafood.
Think of it like a bunker planted on the seafloor. Straight walls, solid corners, no weak seams. The ocean can slam it, roll it, or bury it in sand, yet that shape resists. A net or creel might twist or tear, but a bunkered pot endures. The crab doesn't notice this, of course, it only finds the bait inside and follows instinct. But for the crew, that shape is the reason they still have tools intact by the time the lines come up. Not every pot focuses only on strength. Some are built with extra compartments known as parlor chambers. A parlor pot doesn't just catch, it keeps live crabs contained for longer trips. When you're far from shore, that matters. The catch stays alive, fresher, and worth more when you finally bring it in. With simple square pots, bait draws them in fast, but the catch needs to be hauled quickly. Parlor designs give you time to wait for bigger numbers without losing crabs along the way. On the other end, you see creel traps. These look almost delicate compared to the steel giants. Light frames, rope or wood built in, easier to mend when broken. Their advantage isn't toughness but flexibility. If one tears, you patch it. If a storm takes it, your loss is small. That's why these are popular in calmer water or spots where repair on the fly is more important than lifetime durability. Endurance gets traded for quick fixes and easy handling. That said, the real crown of the trade is the king crab pot. Here the fortress becomes a warehouse. The same bunker design now scaled up, braced stronger, built to handle a flood of massive crabs in seas rougher than most gear would ever touch.
This first began in early 2022 after biologists discovered an estimated 10 billion crabs disappeared.
In 2021, what went on in your mind?
The first reaction was, is this real? You know, we looked at it was almost a flat line. Changing rapidly.
According to new research from NOAA, a marine heat wave linked to climate change likely impacted their food supply.
This is where volume and strength meet. With gear like this, fishermen haul not just survival but the possibility of life-changing payoffs across a storm season. And this is why these structures are more than cages. Out on the water, even seasoned boats strain under long storms, yet these pots keep their shape. They're engineered not only to trap an animal but to give fishermen a fighting chance in seas that punish every mistake. If each pot is a fortress on the seafloor, the bigger question is how those fortresses defend not just gear, but profit, against the violence of the Arctic. Crab pots are more than cages for seafood. They're problem-solving machines, built to hold against storms, salt, and weight while turning risk into real profit. Alaska supplies most of the world's premium king crab, and those steel frames are the reason that catch makes it to market. The value is huge, with crab meat fetching top dollar, and it justifies pots costing thousands each. That gear reflects a testament to the resilience, creativity, and connection between humans and the ocean. If this helped, subscribe and join me for more trips into the tools that shape life out on the water. Next time you sit down to crab, remember the fortress of steel that stood against the Arctic so it could reach you.